Greetings from Windstar Wind Surf. I'm basically halfway through my trip and I've kind of been struggling with doing an update. I know I kind of should be doing one. And the reason being that this is one of the few cruises where I'm just kind of not feeling it. And it's hard to put my finger on exactly. So I'm trying to kind of digest why. So I'm on this ship, it's very big. It's actually a really surprisingly big ship. As you know, it's a sailing ship, and it's a pretty old ship, although they have done a lot of updates to the ship so that the public areas have all been redone. They look very good, but it's a little bit like, and it's going to sound terrible, I feel a little bit like it's putting lipstick on a pig in a way, because the underlying infrastructure I think struggles quite a bit. So, you know, in my cabin I had real issues, and other people I've spoken to have had real issues, say with aircon. Like mine was freezing cold, took them a while to fix. Other people I've spoken to, they talk about it being too hot. It's very noisy, but the kind of the infrastructure, so you'll find little things like parts of the ship are kind of, they look good, but they're kind of just a bit jaded. So I just haven't really clicked with it. It's a sort of a story of two halves. So even the food, for example, so breakfast and lunch is in the veranda, so it's a buffet, and it's very average food, I think. Not a lot of choice, it's fine. Considering the amount that you're paying, it's not incredible. Then the amphora, which is the main dining room, the food is very good. Now they have a partnership with James Beard, so they should be really high quality. You know, the service is pretty good, it's quite fine, but it's just sort of, there's something about just not really connecting and clicking. It's also a bit rainy as well. So it's one of those strange, you know, normally the way I do my videos, they're very sorted, very organized, and I can go boom, 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 boom. This one I'm really struggling with, and I need to try and separate out what it is that really is and isn't doing it for me. So I've met quite a lot of people on here, which is great, who watch the channel, and they keep saying to me, are you having a great time, are you liking it? And I'm sort of turning them around saying, well, what do you think? Very mixed views. Quite a lot of people are new to Windstar, they're trying the sailing experience for the first time, and that's one thing that's actually quite underwhelming, is I had expected this big dramatic sails going up, it all being very kind of dramatic and wonderful and exciting. In reality, the sails sort of just unfurl, and it's rather low key. Also, what you realize is the ship basically sails on power, it's engine driven, and the sails are designed to help basically increase the speed, go a little bit faster. So that's kind of interesting. So you don't get that whole big dramatic sort of reveal of the sails, and everything kind of kicks off and it's all very wonderful. So that probably was also one of the things that slightly kind of dampened things down. So probably what's not helped is the weather this week in Europe. Sorry, it's probably a little bit noisy. The weather this week in Europe on that is not particularly great. Like Dubrovnik today, it's very rainy, so that's a pity. Sorry, I'm walking past the funnel there, so it's probably a bit noisy. So that probably hasn't helped, because it has been a little bit not great. And one of the things that struck me a lot, and I will talk about it in the videos, is I think a sailing ship is designed for great weather. There's a lot of deck space, and so when it's kind of not so great outside and people are inside, although there's quite a lot of space, it's not really what the ship's about. So I feel a little bit like it's all these beautiful decks. And if you're sailing in somewhere nice and warm, like French Polynesia or the Med when it's really hot, or the Caribbean, it probably would be way, way better. Probably would win on that side. So anyway, so I thought I'd give you a sort of update. I probably haven't told you very much, other than I'm very mixed, and I need to kind of get my head around it. But if you do have specific questions, it will help a lot. So ask specific questions, leave them in the comments, and I look forward to perhaps using those to help me get a better sense of what this is all about.